Hello everyone, I'm Bhawna Sahni. I'm back with the new video for class 10 and yes, we are on day number 22 of 30 days English sample paper challenge and वैसे भी आज बहुत auspicious day है so congratulations to you all on the inauguration of the Ram Mandir Ayodhya and yes, please make sure कि अच्छे से आप लोग पढ़ना भी शुरू कर दो. ऑल राइट, सो येस लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद सैम्पल पेपर नंबर 22. पैटर्न वही है, कॉम्प्रिहेंशन, क्वेश्चन आंसर्स, रीडिंग, राइटिंग सब वही है, बस क्वेश्चंस चेंज है. तो हम फटाफट क्वेश्चंस पे ही चलते हैं. सेक्शन ए हम कर रहे हैं. सेक्शन ए यू ऑल नो रीडिंग स्किल्स है जो कि 20 मार्क्स का है. क्लियर, 20 मार्क्स का आपका रीडिंग स्किल है और इसमें 2 क्वेश्चन है रीडिंग स्किल में, दोनों 10-10 मार्क के हैं. ठीक है, 2 क्वेश्चन है, दोनों 10-10 मार्क के हैं. तो कॉम्प्रिहेंशन करने से पहले मैं आपको फिर से ये बताना चाहूँगी कि जब भी आप कॉम्प्रिहेंशन करोगे तो प्लीज़ बहुत थरेली फोकस के साथ, कॉन्सेंट्रेशन के साथ सारे पैराग्राफ्स अच्छे से रीड करो ताकि जब हम क्वेश्चंस रीड करें तो आपको पता हो कि हाँ ये मैंने अभी रीड किया और ये मुझे फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ में या सेकंड पैराग्राफ में या थर्ड पैराग्राफ में मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, ताकि हमारा ज़्यादा टाइम वेस्ट ना हो और हमें बार बार पैसेज ना पढ़ना पड़े. ठीक है, तो अब हम ये रीड करने से पहले फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं आपका क्या है. फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन की बात करें तो फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन ये कहता है सिलेक्ट द ऑप्शन दैट कॉरेस्पॉन्ड्स टू द फॉलोइंग रिलेशन बिलो. ठीक है, peer pressure can prove beneficial but it is most often observed to have negative effect. peer pressure beneficial तो है but most often उसके negative effects observe किए गए हैं. A, sleep is good for memory but too much sleep can also be linked to health problems. B, beginning and ends are easier to remember than middles. C, some people enjoy seeing anger in others. D, food tastes better when someone else makes it. ठीक है, तो peer pressure can prove beneficial but it is most often observed to have negative effect. अब इसमें से एक ऑप्शन बताना है जो इससे कॉरेस्पॉन्ड करता है. मेरे से तो मिल गया कि देखो peer pressure है तो अच्छा बट उसके नेगेटिव इफेक्ट भी होते हैं. तो इससे बिना रीड करे भी हम कह सकते हैं कि भाई sleeping is good for memory but it has its negative effects also because it is linked to the health problem. तो ये इस लाइन से जस्ट रिलेट करना था. ऐसा एक और एग्जाम्पल बताओ. ठीक है, तो इसलिए बिना पैसेज रीड किए हमने कर दिया है बट फिर भी अभी हम पैसेज रीड करेंगे. फिर हमारा सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये आता है बेस्ड ऑन योर रीडिंग ऑफ द टेक्स्ट लिस्ट 2 रीजन व्हाई द राइटर से पीयर प्रेशर इज नॉट ऑलवेज बैड. ठीक है, अब पीयर प्रेशर हमेशा बैड क्यों नहीं होता वो हमने देखना है. सो लेट्स रीड दिस स्टैंजा. Peer pressure is phenomenon wherein we tend to get influenced by lifestyle and the way of thinking of our peers. Peer pressure can prove beneficial but it is most often observed to have negative effects. ठीक है, अगर मैं बात करूँ तो हमने इसी लाइन का एक एग्जाम्पल ढूंढा था, दैट इज स्लीप. स्लीप के पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट तो है कि इट हेल्प्स इन कीपिंग योर मेमोरी गुड बट अगर आप ज़्यादा सोओगे तो इट कैन हैव वेरियस हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम्स एज वेल. The thought, behavior and taste in fashion, music, television and other walks of life masses are often seen to have deep impact on society. We tend to get influenced by the lifestyle of our peer group. The changing way of life of our peer often force us to change our ways of looking at life and leading it. It's a human tendency to do what the crowd does. Few have the courage to resist peer pressure and be their own selves rather than being one among the lot. Peer pressure is bound to affect most of us both positively and negatively. ठीक है, तो peer pressure negatively भी affect करता है और positively भी affect करता है. ठीक है, the distinction between positive and negative peer pressure lies in a thoughtful analysis of the views of the masses. Following your peers blindly leaves a negative impact on your life, while an analytical approach to look at the peer behavior can help you act positively. तो आप analytically approach करोगे अपने peer को, तो अपने peer behavior को, तो it can help you act positively. Peer pressure is not always always bad. ठीक है, positive क्या है? It can help you analyze yourself and contemplate your ways of life and some of the practices that the masses follow may or actually teach you the way of living. You may be able to change yourself for better. Looking at what others do can help you bring about a positive change in your way of thinking. If you can pick selectively, peer pressure can actually result in a positive change in your life. अगर मैं positive change की बात करूँ तो आपने यहाँ से लिखना है. Clear? So now let's read this. Yes. It can help us in self-analysis and contemplation. Observing and practicing good practices of other can help enhance our thinking and way of living. यही अभी हमने paragraph 4 में as it is पढ़ा. Next, complete the sentence appropriately. The changing ways of our peers' life can affect us by dash. ठीक है, अब जो changing ways है peer life का, it can affect us by dash. So now let's read this. ठीक है, अभी हमने ये नहीं पढ़ा तो अब हम ये भी पढ़ेंगे. हमने यहाँ से पढ़ना है. Teenage is that phase of life when you are exposed to the world outside. These are the years when you spend most of your time with your friends. Teenage is the phase of beginning to become independent in life. The years of forming your ideals and principles. The years that shape your personality. And the years that introduce you to your own self. As adolescents, you often spend most of your daily time with friends. And owing to this, you tend to imitate your friend. The people around you are bound to influence you. However, the effect of the influences of the masses is greater during your teen years. Parents have a vital role to play during this phase of your life. Parents and teachers need to be careful while dealing with teenagers as they are most susceptible to succumbing to peer pressure during these years of their life. Teenage individual needs to be taught to distinguish between the good and the bad. The right and the wrong should be taught to be thoughtful in life. A strong support from family, an ability to differentiate between positive and negative, and a skill to choose friends from among peers. This three-pronged strategy is the best way to keep away from the negative peer pressure. ठीक है, तो ये हमें इसी में से बहुत आसानी से समझ आ गया कि भाई जो चेंजिंग वेज है पीयर लाइफ के, वो हमारी लाइफ के वेज को चेंज कर सकती है बहुत आराम से. सो येस, द चेंजिंग वेज ऑफ पीयर्स लाइफ कैन अफेक्ट अस बाय फोर्सिंग अस टू चेंज द वे इन विच वी आर लीड लाइव्स. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट, adolescents tend to imitate and share views with their friends because they spend most of the time with their friends. ठीक है, ये अभी हमने यहाँ पे पढ़ा. Adolescents, you often spend most of your daily time with friends. ठीक है, and owing to this, you tend to imitate your friend, be like them. ठीक है, समझ आया? तो इसका आंसर यही होगा, that you tend to imitate your friend. Clear? Because you spend most of the time with your friends. Then the passage include some words that are opposite of each other. From set A to E given below, you have to identify two set of antonyms. Two sets of antonyms की मैं बात करूँ तो antonyms means opposite. ठीक है, looking and leading no, works and masses no, positively and negatively एक opposite word है, distinction and change no, right and wrong opposite word है. Clear? In about 40 words apply one point to justify the following. अब in about 40 words आपने एक point बताना है जो इस लाइन को justify करती है कि parents and teacher needs to be careful while dealing with teenagers as they are most susceptible to succumbing to peer pressure during these years of their life. ठीक है, तो ये अभी हमने यहीं पे पढ़ा है. Yes. As adolescents, you often spend most of your daily time with friends. ठीक है, and owing to this, you tend to imitate your friend. The people around you are bound to influence you. However, the effect of the influence of the masses is greater during your teen years. Parents have vital role to play during this phase of life. Clear? This phase of your life. So parents and teachers need to be careful while dealing with teenagers as they are more susceptible to succumbing to peer pressure during these years of their life. Clear? Any doubt? So yes. Now let's read this. As adolescents often spend most of their daily time with friends, they tend to imitate and copy them. ठीक है, they tend to imitate and copy them blindly. Parents and teachers being experienced can prevent teenagers and adolescents from the following wrong and dangerous trends and attitudes. Thus, they need to be careful while dealing with teenagers. Okay, so which of the following is an appropriate reason for the effect of peer pressure in teenage year? अब इनमें से कौन सा एक appropriate reason है for the effect of peer pressure in your teenage year? A, teenagers spend more time with their parents and old people. No, they spend most of their time with their friends. Clear? Teen years are always unmanageable. Teens spend more time with their peers and friends. So yes, this is true that teenagers spend more times with their peers and friends, and it is impossible to convince teenagers no. So the correct option is option number C. The writer mentions The people around you are bound to influence you in paragraph 5. Mention one reason from the passage that support this statement. Okay, तो अभी हमने ये पढ़ा paragraph 5 में that people around you are bound to influence you. However, the effect of the influences of the masses is greater during your teen years, and parents have vital role to play during this phase of your life. And it is also mentioned that according to the author, जो adolescents है, ठीक है, जो they spend most of the time with their friends and they basically imitate them. क्लियर? तो ये ह्यूमन टेंडेंसी होती है, ठीक है, जिसको हम नहीं पीछे छोड़ सकते. सो द राइटर सेज दैट द पीपल अराउंड अस हैव अ डीप इन्फ्लुएंस ऑन अस बिकॉज अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम इट इज अ ह्यूमन tendency to follow our peers. Thus, we cannot resist the taste of our peers and are influenced by them. Clear? Now we are moving to question number 2. Question number 2 भी आपका 10 marks का है. Question number 2 का passage read करने से पहले एक बार हम question देख लेते हैं क्या है. Question ये कहता है answer the following question based on the passage above. Complete the following analogy appropriately based on your understanding of the passage. The rise in temperature will. अब जब temperature rise होगा तो क्या होगा? Let's read that. So yes, India's average temperature has already increased by around 0.7 degrees Celsius during 1901 to 2018 period due to greenhouse gas emission. And by the end of 2100, it is expected to rise by approximately 4.4 degrees. Celsius wants the first ever climate change assessment report by the Indian government. The report assessment of climate change over Indian region prepared by Union Ministry of Earth Science warned that the rapid changes in temperature would mean increasing stress on India's natural ecosystem, agricultural output and freshwater resources while also causing escalating damage to infrastructure. This ultimately means a serious impact on the country's biodiversity, food, water, energy security, and public health. It is said that several regions in India are global biodiversity hotspot with numerous endemic species of plant and animal. With the climate change and more rapidly than usual, they may face increasing threats on account of these changes. The MOES report cautioned that by the end of 2100, the frequency of summer, that is April to June heat waves over India is projected to be 3 to 4 times higher, and the average duration of heat wave event is also projected to approximately double. According to the report, the sea surface temperature of the tropical Indian Ocean has also risen by 1 degree Celsius on average during 1951 to 2015. क्लियर? तो बेटा यहाँ पे हमें पता लगा कि जैसे जैसे इंक्रीज होता है टेम्परेचर वैसे वैसे हीट वेव भी इंक्रीज होती है. द राइज इन टेम्परेचर इज प्लेइंग अ हैवॉक विद इंडियाज रेनफॉल विच इज सिग्निफिकेंट फॉर इंडियाज एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर. The report noted that the summer monsoon precipitation over India, that is from June to September, has declined by around 6% from 1951 to 2015, with notable decrease over the Indo-Gangetic plains and the Western Ghat. It stressed that the overall decrease of seasonal summer monsoon rainfall during the last 6 to 7 decades has led to an increased propensity for droughts in India. It is in particular areas over central India, southwest coast, southern peninsula and northeastern India have experienced more than 2 droughts per decade. The area affected by drought has also increased by 1.3% per decade over the same period. Climate model projections indicate a high likelihood of an increase in frequency, intensity and area under drought conditions in India by the end of the 21st century, said the MOES report. एंड ये एक दिया हुआ है, ठीक है, इसमें पूरा एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है जो कि अभी हमें ऐसे नहीं पता लग रहा है. दिस इज रीलोकेशन ऑफ होल टाउन, कॉस्ट ऑफ अडाप्टिंग कोस्टल एरियाज टू द सी लेवल्स, नियर द सी लेवल, लॉस ऑफ कैपेसिटी टू वर्क ड्यू टू हीट एंड all the disadvantages is given, social and economic impact is given due to climate change. Clear? So complete the following analogy appropriately based on your understanding. अगर temperature बढ़ रहा है तो frequency भी increase हो रही है, ठीक है, and heat waves की duration भी increase हो रही है, ठीक है. So it lead to the increase in the frequency and duration of the heat waves. Next, Fill in the blanks with the appropriate option from those given in bracket based on your understanding of passage. From paragraph 5, we can infer that the dash in temperature has wreaked havoc in the rainfall pattern. तो increase in temperature के बारे में हम पढ़ रहे हैं, तो rise in temperature होगा, and the overall dash of seasonal summer monsoon rainfall during the last 6 to 7 decades has led to an increased tendency of drought. तो ये हो गया decrease in rainfall. ठीक है, ये अभी हमने paragraph 5 में यहाँ पे पढ़ा भी है. The rise in temperature is playing havoc. तो rise आ गया ये वाला with India's rainfall, which is significant for India's agriculture sector, and the report noted that summer monsoon precipitation over India has declined आ गया by 6%. तो यहीं से हमने ये आंसर करना है. ठीक है, then we are moving on to the next question. Infer 3 reasons for the following based on your information in paragraph 1. Answer in about 40 words. India's average temperature has already increased by 0.7 degree during 1901 to 2018 period. तो भाई क्या रीजन है जिसकी वजह से 0.7 डिग्री बढ़ गया है? That is due to greenhouse gas emission, and by the end of 2100 it is expected to rise by approximately 4.4 degrees Celsius once the first ever climate change assessment report by the Indian government. Clear? So greenhouse gas emission, destruction of natural ecosystem, over exploitation of natural resources, ये सारे हमने passages में reason पढ़े for the increase in temperature. These are the reason for the rising in temperature of around 0.7 degrees Celsius during 1901 to 2018 period. Clear? Mention any two social and economic impact of a climatic change. एक तो क्या होगा? Less capacity to work and increase in carpooling. ये आपने यहाँ से देख के बताना है. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद आता है ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ द गिवन पिक्चर विच फिनोमिना विल कॉज वाइड स्प्रेड पॉवर्टी. तो ये इस पिक्चर के हिसाब से कौन सा फिनोमिना है जिससे वाइड स्प्रेड पॉवर्टी होगी. ठीक है, दैट इज एक्सट्रीम मेटियोलॉजिकल फिनोमिना विल कॉज वाइड स्प्रेड पॉवर्टी. Clear? Now select the chart that appropriately represents the drought trend with climate in India from the year 1951 to 2015 as per paragraph 5. तो as per paragraph 5 ये हमें बताया गया था कि भाई जो ड्रॉट है वो बढ़ता ही जाएगा. ठीक है, ये यहाँ पे हमने पढ़ा द राइज इन टेम्परेचर. ठीक है, इसकी वजह से जो रेनफॉल है वो कम हो जाएगी, एंड रेनफॉल कम होने की वजह से जो ड्रॉट है वो बढ़ जाएगा. तो बेसिकली ऑप्शन 1 इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. ठीक है, फिर मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सेज दैट जस्टिफाई द फॉलोइंग इन अबाउट 40 वर्ड्स. द राइज इन टेम्परेचर इज प्लेइंग हैवॉक विद इंडियाज रेनफॉल. तो वही वाला पूरा पैराग्राफ नंबर 5 आ जाएगा. द गिवन स्टेटमेंट मीन्स दैट द इंक्रीज इन टेम्परेचर इज हैविंग अ डेट्रीमेंटल इफेक्ट ऑन द अमाउंट ऑफ रेनफॉल दैट इंडिया receives. As per a report, the summer monsoon precipitation has decreased by around 6% from 1951 to 2015. This decrease of rainfall during the last 6 to 7 decades has led to an increased frequency for droughts in India. तो ये paragraph 5 में mentioned है. ठीक है, which of the following is an appropriate title for paragraph 2? एक बार paragraph 2 read करते हैं फिर decide करते हैं. paragraph 2 ये कहता है the report assessment of climatic change over the Indian region prepared by Union Ministry of Earth Sciences warned that the rapid changes in the temperature would mean increasing stress on India's natural ecosystem. तो यहाँ पे हम natural ecosystem, agriculture output और fresh water resources की बात कर रहे हैं, and also causing escalating damage to infrastructure. This ultimately means a serious impact on country's biodiversity, food, water, energy security and public health. और अब options देखते हैं क्या है. ऑप्शन हमारा कहता है winds of change no, climate change no, loss of diversity उसमें mentioned है, drought trends no. So the answer is loss of diversity. All right, so यहाँ पे section A over होता है. Now we are moving on to section B. सेक्शन बी की बात करें तो दो पार्ट्स हैं, ग्रामर एंड राइटिंग. ग्रामर 10 मार्क्स की है, राइटिंग भी 10 मार्क्स की है. ग्रामर की बात करें तो there are 12 questions. Out of 12 questions you only have to attempt 10. So let's start with this question. Fill in the blanks by choosing the correct option to complete an online update. The mystery of why home dash biggest tech cause can't solve visa backlog. The mystery of why home for worlds नहीं, होम फॉर वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट टेक नहीं, होम ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स बिगेस्ट टेक, जो सबसे बड़े टेक का होम है, वो भी बैकलॉग सॉल्व नहीं कर सकता, तो ऑफ वर्ल्ड्स, तो ऑप्शन सी, ठीक है. रीड द कॉन्वर्सेशन एंड कंप्लीट द पैसेज गिवन बिलो. कार्नर, डिड यू वाटर द प्लांट टुडे? देव, नो बट आई विल टुडे. Gardener, then tomorrow I will get a sapling of sunflower. So the gardener asked Dev whether he had watered the plant that day. Dev replied negatively, but further informed that that he will किस में चेंज हो जाएगा? would नहीं, ये वाला नहीं, ये वाला चेंज करना है. he will चेंज हो जाएगा would में. he would water the plant that day. Today की जगह हो जाएगा that day. He would water the plant that day. Clear? Then moving on to the next. Select the correct option to fill in the blanks for the given line from an international front. UN World Population Prospects 2022 predict that on November 15, यहीं पे समझ आ गया. पर देखो, ये UN वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन प्रोस्पेक्ट्स की बात हो रही है, ठीक है. ये प्लूरल नहीं है, ये सिंगुलर है, ठीक है. और ही शी इट के साथ लगता है वर्ब की फर्स्ट फॉर्म SES, तो ये हो जाएगा प्रिडिक्ट्स, ठीक है. सो ये एरर है, तो करेक्ट ऑप्शन इसका हो जाएगा प्रिडिक्ट्स, ठीक है. सो UN वर्ल्ड पॉपुलेशन प्रोस्पेक्ट 2022 predicts that on November 15 global population will cross 8 billion and during 2023 India will take over China. Clear? उसके बाद नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हमारा ये बोलता है, सेलेक्ट द ऑप्शन दैट आइडेंटिफाई द एरर्स एंड सप्लाई द करेक्शन फॉर द फॉलोइंग लाइन from an article. Environment pollution has posed a serious threat not only on man but also among all living beings. तो ऑप्शन देखने से पहले ना I would suggest you कि भाई आप पहले ही एरर ढूंढ लो. अगर आप एक एक करके ऑप्शन लगाओगे ना तो आप बहुत कंफ्यूज हो जाओगे. सो environment pollution has posed a serious threat not only on man but also among all living beings. ठीक है, not only in man. Environment pollution has posed a serious threat not only in man but also among all living beings. Clear? Next, complete the given narrative by fill in the blanks with the correct option. A.J. Cronin was a Scottish novelist and physician who was working combining realism with socialism criticism, won a large Anglo-American readership. No, will be working भी नहीं आएगा क्योंकि ये was में है. whose work combining realism with social criticism won a large Anglo-American readership. Clear? Yes. Then moving on to the next question. Fill in the blanks by using the correct form of the word in the bracket for the given portion of a letter. Subject, bullying of class 10 student. Respected sir, madam, with due respect, I bring to your notice that my brother Ashutosh Roy of class 10th D has been staying in dormitory. Because ये present continuous tense होगा, ठीक है. Perfect, present perfect continuous होगा. Report the dialogue by completing the sentence. Reena, do you know how to swim? Surbi, yes, I know. I have learnt it during the summer vacation. So Reena asked Surbi whether she knew how to swim. To this, Surbi replied that she knew. I किस में change हो जाएगा? I हो जाएगा she में change. Clear? I किस में हो जाएगा? she में change. Knew change होगा that she knew and had learned. Have किस में हो जाएगा? had learnt it during that summer vacation. That she knew and had learnt it during that summer vacation. Clear? Now identify the error in the magazines in the given sentence from a magazine report. Supply the correction. तो ये भी बहुत easy है, ठीक है. Of all the honors bestowed in Indian cinema, दादा साहेब फाल्के award is a jewel in the crown. ठीक है, तो ये बहुत ही easy है, ठीक है. Of all the honors, I'll just mark the error. Of all the honors bestowed in Indian cinema, Dada Saheb Phalke award is the jewel in the crown because we are talking about specific award. कौन से award की बात कर रहे हैं? दादा साहेब फाल्के. स्पेसिफाइड है तो अ की जगह द आएगा. क्लियर. देन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज place the correct form of word in the bracket. A metaphor is a figure of speech that for rhetorical effect. किसके कौन से effect के लिए होता है? Rhetorical effect. Read the slogan by the Ministry of Forest, identify the error and supply the correction. The little effort towards saving the environment is better than no effort. तो the little नहीं होता है, a little होता है. A little effort towards saving the environment is better than no efforts. फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आता है सिलेक्ट द करेक्ट ऑप्शन टू कंप्लीट द नरेशन ऑफ द डायलॉग बिटवीन उमर एंड हिज फ्रेंड ललित. उमर, where have you been all these days, Lalit? Lalit, I was a little occupied with my board's preparation. Umar asked Lalit where he had been all those days. In response to the question, he replied that क्या होगा यहाँ पे? He replied that I की जगह हो जाएगा he, was की जगह हो जाएगा had been. ठीक है, was की जगह हो जाएगा had been a little occupied. ठीक है, with his, my की जगह हो जाएगा his board's preparation. ठीक है, तो ये होगा आपका ऑप्शन नंबर बी, दैट ही हैड बीन लिटिल ऑक्यूपाइड विद हिज बोर्ड प्रिपरेशन. ठीक है, फिर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आता है आइडेंटिफाई द एरर ऑन अ न्यूज़पेपर हेडलाइन एंड सप्लाई द करेक्शन. In 5 years, the web of ropeways could help end Shimla's city's traffic woes. ठीक है, तो इन 5 सालों में, ठीक है, in 5 years, the web of ropeways, यहाँ पे लिखा है the web of ropeways could help end शिमला city's traffic woes. तो द की जगह यहाँ पे आ जाएगा अ. ठीक है, क्योंकि ये स्पेसिफाइड नहीं है, द की जगह आ जाएगा अ. क्लियर. देन वी आर मूविंग ऑन टू द राइटिंग पार्ट. राइटिंग पार्ट भी 10 मार्क्स का है. देयर आर 2 क्वेश्चन 5 मार्क्स ईच. सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन आपके लेटर का है. लेटर में 2 ऑप्शंस होंगे. यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी वन. क्लियर. योर स्कूल हैड ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एन एजुकेशनल ट्रिप टू फतेहपुर सिकरी एंड आगरा. यू नोटिस द dilapidated कंडीशन ऑफ some of the monuments, मतलब very bad. Clear. Write a letter to the municipal chairman of Agra mentioning the condition and requesting him to take urgent steps for the prevention of this valuable heritage. You are Anuj Anju, नाम given है, address given है 40 civil lines New Town. तो ये हो गया 40 civil lines New Town. यहाँ पे सबसे पहली मिस्टेक जो है कि जो आपका सेंडर्स एड्रेस है ना वो आपका 3 लाइन्स में आता है और यहाँ पे 2 लाइन्स में मेंशन्ड है. तो 40 सिविल लाइन्स. ठीक है, हाउस नंबर 40 लिख सकते हो, नीचे सिविल लाइन लिख सकते हो, उसके नीचे न्यू टाउन लिख सकते हो. उसके बाद आपकी डेट बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है. लेटर लिखना है द चेयरमैन म्यूनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन आगरा. फिर यू हैव टू लीव अ लाइन. सब्जेक्ट आएगा dilapidated कंडीशन ऑफ हिस्टोरिकल मॉन्यूमेंट्स. इसको अंडरलाइन करना है. अगेन यू हैव टू लीव अ लाइन. आपने लिखना है सर. ठीक है, सो लेटर ऐसे ही शुरू होगा. 3 पैराग्राफ में लेटर लिखना है. पहला पैराग्राफ यही है. थ्रू द कॉलम ऑफ योर esteemed newspaper, I would like to draw the attention of the concerned authorities towards the dilapidated condition of the several historical monuments. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट पैराग्राफ में लिखोगे द मॉन्यूमेंट्स इन इंडिया आर स्लोली बीइंग eroded away and they are in a pathetic state as they have turned hideous. Recently we visited the monument and had a horrible experience. Some of them have lost their shine, some have blackened, some left ruined in acid rain. We have thousands of big and small monuments spread across the length and breadth of the country. ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपका आएगा सेकेंड पैराग्राफ. क्लियर. और यहाँ से आप शुरू करोगे अपना थर्ड पैराग्राफ. ठीक है, but I don't find anybody who cares for it. Therefore, the concerned authority is being requested to kindly pay heed to the issue mentioned above and take immediate measures conducting awareness camp or so. After this you have to leave a line. लाइन छोड़ के आपने लिखना है thanking you. उसके नीचे ही लिखना है बिना लाइन छोड़े yours truly and उसके नीचे आपका नाम अनुज या अंजू whatever according to your gender. Clear. फिर उसके बाद नेक्स्ट लेटर आता है यू आर अंशुल अंशिका अ स्टूडेंट ऑफ ग्रेड 10 एंड अ रेजिडेंट ऑफ 36D रिंग रोड ITO न्यू दिल्ली वांट्स टू बी अ कोरियोग्राफर. Recently you came across an advertisement by Set Fire Dance Academy MG Road New Delhi which offers various forms of dancing. Write an inquiry letter seeking information about the course and its package. क्लियर? तो लेटर ऑफ इंक्वायरी है, बहुत ईजी है, तो इसमें भी कुछ मिस्टेक्स है, ठीक है. लेट्स रूल आउट दोज मिस्टेक. सबसे पहले जो आपका लेटर है वो 3 लाइन में होना चाहिए, बिल्कुल करेक्ट है. 36D रिंग रोड, नीचे ITO, फिर आ गया नीचे न्यू दिल्ली. लीव अ लाइन, डेट बिल्कुल परफेक्ट है. अगेन लीव अ लाइन, द डायरेक्टर सेट फायर डांस अकेडमी MG रोड, और यहीं पे मैं कहूँगी न्यू दिल्ली लिख दो, आपको अलग से लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. फिर यहाँ पे ये कट गया, सब्जेक्ट आ गया लाइन छोड़ के, इंक्वायरी रिगार्डिंग कोर्स इन कोरियोग्राफी. अगेन यू हैव टू लीव अ लाइन, सर आ गया. This is with reference to your advertisement regarding the course in choreography offered by your reputable institute. I want to state that I am currently in class 10 and preparing for my final exams. ठीक है, तो अगर आप किसी कोर्स की इंक्वायरी कर रहे हो तो आप ये पैराग्राफ तो कॉपी ही कर लो, एज इट इज लिखना है. फिर सेकेंड पैराग्राफ में लिखो, I am very much interested in dancing and want to take it as a career. I am also given to understand that this institute is by far the best as far as choreography is concerned, and I would very much like to be a part of it. ठीक है, फिर ये आपका आ गया थर्ड पैराग्राफ. काइंडली सेंड मी द प्रोस्पेक्टस or brochure and the application form. I would be highly grateful if you could provide me with the following information: the course structure, scholarship if any, admission process, eligibility criteria, hostel facilities, nearest metro station. Kindly send me the brochure along with the details mentioned above with the enrollment form for further formalities. Then you have to leave a line. After leaving a line you have to write thanking you के नीचे लिखना yours truly, और yours truly के नीचे आपने अपना नाम लिखना है. क्लियर? अब आते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 की बात करते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 जो है राइटिंग पार्ट का, वो बेसिकली एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ है. There are 2 analytical paragraphs. You have to attempt any one. कुछ भी नहीं करना, जो इन्फॉर्मेशन दी हुई है उसको रीड करो, समझो, उसको समराइज करो. कंपैरिजन है, कंपैरिजन लिखो, क्या इन्फॉर्मेशन दी गई है वो बताओ. तो बस 100 to 120 वर्ड्स में यही लिखना है. मोर ओवर आपने एक टॉपिक का नाम जरूर देना है. टॉपिक के फ्री के 1 मार्क है. क्लियर? सो द गिवन चार्ट शोज द डिवीजन ऑफ हाउस होल्ड टास्क बाय जेंडर इन ग्रेट ब्रिटेन. तो यही हो गया डिवीजन ऑफ हाउस होल्ड टास्क बाय जेंडर इन ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, या हाउस होल्ड टास्क बाय जेंडर इन ग्रेट ब्रिटेन, ये भी लिख सकते हो. फिर चार्ट क्या शो करता है ये लिखोगे. राइट एन एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ डिस्क्राइबिंग द चार्ट इन नॉट मोर देन 100 to 120 वर्ड. सो यू जस्ट हैव टू डिस्क्राइब द चार्ट. तो पहले ये आपने टॉपिक दे दिया एज इट इज, फिर चार्ट क्या डिस्क्राइब कर रहा है वो, फिर एक एक करके एक एक चीज सारी एक्सप्लेन करोगे. कुकिंग, बेकिंग, क्लींजिंग, ठीक है, गार्डनिंग, केयर ऑफ ओन चिल्ड्रन एंड प्ले, मेंटेनेंस, सब लिखोगे. सो यही आ गया डिवीजन ऑफ हाउस होल्ड टास्क. The chart provides information about the division of household tasks by gender in Great Britain and the number of minutes per day spent by both males and females in doing various tasks. On an average, women spend approximately 4 hours doing the household tasks, whereas men spend less than 2.5 hours for the same. The task on which women spend more time than men includes cooking, cleaning the house, taking care of the children and laundry. In doing all these tasks, women spend approximately 200 minutes, which is almost 3 times the time spent by men in accomplishing these tasks. On the other hand, men spend twice the time than the women in doing tasks like gardening and maintenance of odd jobs in the house. Men spend majority of their time, almost 50 minutes, in gardening and pet care, whereas women spend only 30 minutes for these tasks. The time spent by men in washing, ironing and sewing clothes is as low as 2 minutes per day as opposed to 25 minutes spent by women. In a nutshell, women spend far more time when it comes to doing household chores and then men who prefer to do gardening, pet care and maintenance of odd jobs. Clear? Now, इसके और पार्ट में देखते हैं कौन सा एनालिटिकल पैराग्राफ है. गिवन बिलो इज अ टैबुलर स्टैटिस्टिक्स शोइंग द क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ इन 5 countries assessed under specific parameters. Write an analytical paragraph on given information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparison where relevant. You have to write in 100 to 120 words. तो ये GNP दे रखा है पर हेड, डेली कैलोरी सप्लाई, लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, इन्फेंट मोर्टेलिटी रेट, बांग्लादेश, बोलीविया, इजिप्ट, इंडोनेशिया, USA का. ठीक है. सो येस, लेट्स गिव द टॉपिक फॉर स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग, सीधे 1 मार्क. ठीक है. The table uses 4 economic indicators to show the standard of living in 5 selected countries in 1982. Overall, it can be seen that the quality of life in the USA is far higher than the other 4 countries. The USA, which is a developed country, had the highest GNP at $13,160 per head, and it also has a much higher daily calorie of 3,653 calories and life expectancy of 74, and the lowest rate of infant mortality at just 12 of 1,000 children born. In contrast, Bangladesh scores the least in all the four parameters, with GNP at 140, calorie intake as low as 1877, a life expectancy of 40, and an infant mortality of 132 deaths per 1,000 children born. The other countries, Bolivia, Egypt, and Indonesia, have GNPs of 570.690 and 580 calories intake at the rates of 2086, 2950, and 2296, and their life expectancy at birth stands 50, 56, and 49. While Indonesia and Egypt report an infant mortality of 87 and 97,000 per 1,000 children, Bolivia is closer to Bangladesh in this particular indicator, reporting an infant mortality rate of around 124 per 1,000 children born. In conclusion, the statistics shows the extreme situations in the quality of life in developed and underdeveloped and developing countries. यहाँ पे हमारा analytical paragraph खत्म हो रहा है, and I hope आपको analytical paragraph समझ भी आया हो. Now we are moving to section C. Section C जो है हमारा literature है, and ये 40 मार्क्स की लिटरेचर है. ठीक है, क्वेश्चन 6 की बात करें तो जो क्वेश्चन 6 है हमारा वो आरटीसी है. दो क्वेश्चंस है, एक फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट से और एक फर्स्ट फ्लाइट से. ठीक है, यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट एनीवन, तो जो आता होगा वो ही अटेम्प्ट करना है. सो लेट्स स्टार्ट. रीड द गिवन एक्सट्रैक्ट एंड आंसर द क्वेश्चन ऑफ एनी वन आउट ऑफ टू. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and the stars were shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. कौन से chapters हैं? 2 stories about flying. यहाँ पे mentioned है, पेपर में mentioned नहीं होगा. So make sure you read all the chapters thoroughly. So what is the significance of not a single cloud in the sky? ठीक है, यही बोला जा रहा है कि the sky is clear. The significance of not a single cloud in the sky is that the sky is clear. What was the pilot flying? His old Dakota aeroplane. The pilot was flying Dakota aeroplane. Dakota नहीं है, Dakota है, तो यहाँ पे R नहीं आएगा. ठीक है. How did the pilot feel after calling the Paris control the first time? Answer in about 40 words. He was very happy कि वो इंग्लैंड जाएगा and big English breakfast करेगा उसकी family के साथ. So yes, when the pilot called the Paris control the first time, he was happy that he would reach England on time and on time for a big English breakfast. He thought that everything was going well and it was an easy flight. Next is state true or false. None of the following description A to D correctly corresponds to the extract. तो जो extract दिया हुआ है उसमें देखते हैं क्या इनमें से कोई apply होता है. तो वो debate तो नहीं थी बिल्कुल भी. Description, yes, it was a description, so we can say that this is false क्योंकि B applies to the extract. Clear? अब और पार्ट में देखते हैं कौन से चैप्टर का आरटीसी है, जो आता होगा वो ही अटेम्प्ट करना. इट वॉज ओनली व्हेन आई बिगन टू लर्न दैट माई बॉयहुड फ्रीडम वॉज एन इल्यूजन. When I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken away from me, that I began to hunger for it. At first, as a student, I wanted freedom only for myself, the transitory freedom of being able to stay out at night, read what I please and go where I chose. Later, as a young man in Johannesburg, I yearned for the basic and honorable freedom of achieving my potential, of earning my keep, of marrying and having a family, the freedom not to be obstructed in a law life. So this is the extract taken from the chapter The Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Clear? यहाँ पे chapter का नाम mentioned है, लेकिन make sure paper में नहीं होगा, सारे chapters thoroughly read करके जाना. So the speaker's attitude towards his freedom when he was in his boyhood can be summed up as. ठीक है, जब वो अपने बॉयहुड में था क्या वो सेल्फ सेंटर्ड था? नहीं. क्या वो नाइव था? Yes, he was naive. So yes, he summed up as being naive. How does Nelson Mandela understand the concept of transitory freedom? अब नेल्सन मंडेला को transitory freedom के बारे में कैसे समझ आया? So transitory freedom for him meant staying out at night, reading what he liked and going where he chose. This was Mandela's concept of freedom when he was young, and it was limited to personal liberty and enjoyment. Now, अगर current freedom की बात करूँ for Nelson Mandela, it is freedom for his own country, self-respect to all people. So this is the transitory freedom. Clear? In the statement, I discovered as a young man that my freedom had already been taken away from me, that I began to hunger for it. What was Mandela hungering after? Okay, so the desire to lead a normal and respectful citizen. Yes, he had a desire to lead a normal, respectful as a citizen. Clear? Next is, if a point of view is the narration of a story that can be told from a first, second, or third person point of view, the given extract is told in फर्स्ट पर्सन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू. तो जो ये एक्सट्रैक्ट है ये फर्स्ट पर्सन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू में बताया हुआ है, क्योंकि आई यूज किया हुआ है, आई मी, ये सारे वर्ड्स यूज किए हुए हैं. अब क्वेश्चन 7 की बात करते हैं. क्वेश्चन 7 5 मार्क्स का है. अगेन रेफरेंस टू कॉन्टेक्स्ट है. पोएम्स में से है, फर्स्ट फ्लाइट की पोएम्स में से है. 2 पोएम्स है, जो आती होगी वो ही अटेम्प्ट करनी है. क्लियर? यहाँ पे चैप्टर्स के नाम गिवन है, बोर्ड के पेपर में नहीं गिवन होंगे. सो मेक श्योर यू रीड all the chapters very thoroughly. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little mouse blinked strategically mousehole. But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like iron in a dungeon. With a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm, he went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. So कौन से chapter से है? The Tale of Custard the Dragon. Complete the sentence appropriately. It is clear that the figure of speech used in with a ladder and a clank and a jangling squirm is onomatopoeia. अब ये onomatopoeia poet ने क्यों use किया है? Onomatopoeia poet ने इसलिए use किया है ताकि वो dramatic effect, ठीक है, ड्रामेटिक इफेक्ट दे सके पोएम में, साउंड इफेक्ट्स दे सके पोएम में. क्लियर? सो ऑल 3 वर्ड्स क्लटर, क्लैंक एंड जैंगलिंग आर एग्जांपल ऑफ ओनोमोटोपिया, फिगर ऑफ स्पीच दैट पोर्ट्रेज द साउंड made by certain actions or objects. What is the word poet's purpose in using the onomatopic words given in the extract? To emphasize the boldness of Custard? Yes, A part. The extract mentions iron in dungeon. According to this extract, what iron refers to? तो iron किस लिए बोला गया था? Iron basically iron chain बोली गई थी जिसने prisoner को पकड़ा होता है, like prisoner को captive में पकड़ा हुआ है, that iron chain, ठीक है, like हथकड़ी. So handcuffs. In the given extract, the word irons refer to iron chain holding the prisoners captive. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. Why has this comparison been used here? अब robin like a worm, जैसे रॉबिन वॉर्म को पकड़ता है वैसे कस्टर्ड ने पायरेट को पकड़ा. तो यहाँ पे ये कंपैरिजन क्यों यूज किया गया है? बिकॉज ही वॉक्ड एज स्लो एज वॉर्म. अगर मैं पायरेट की बात करूं, ठीक है, तो पायरेट ही वॉक्ड एज स्लो एज वॉर्म, ठीक है. सो द पोएट हैज मेड द कंपैरिजन इन ऑर्डर टू शो दैट कस्टर्ड वाज वेरी केयरफुल व्हाइल ही प्लान टू अटैक द पायरेट. ही वॉक्ड एज स्लो एज वॉर्म सो दैट द पायरेट वुड नॉट सस्पेक्ट हिम. क्लियर? अब ऑप्शन बी में देखते हैं कौन सी पोएम है. अगेन जो आती होगी वो ही अटेम्प्ट करना. इफ स्ट्रोलिंग फोर्थ अ बीस्ट you view, whose hide with spot is peppered, as soon as he had leapt on you, you'll know it is the leopard. 12 do no good row to with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. How to tell wild animals? In what way does the language used in this line challenges the traditional ideas of how poetry should be written? I will do no good to roll with pain, he'll only leap and leap again. तो यहाँ पे leap and leap यूज जो किया है पोएट ने, यहाँ पे पोएटिक लाइसेंस यूज करके leap की स्पेलिंग चेंज करी हुई है. leap and leap की जगह पोएट को एक्चुअली में जो यूज करना था वो था leapt and leapt. टू मेंटेन रिदम इन द पोएम उन्होंने पोएटिक लाइसेंस यूज करके इसकी स्पेलिंग को चेंज किया है. What is the significance of humor while describing the wild beasts in the poem, and how does this contribute to the overall mood and tone of the poem? तो यहाँ पे क्या humorous दिखाया हुआ है while describing the animal? तो poet ने tongue in cheek humor use किया गया है to describe the natural instinct of wild animal, ठीक है, in a humorous manner. A noble beast greets you, a bear hugs you, crocodile sweep, he will only leap and leap again, and hyena smiles. These distinctive quality give them a unique identification and induce laughter. Clear? अब इसके थर्ड पार्ट में देखते हैं. Complete the sentence with appropriate option. The contextual meaning of the word peppered in the stanza. Peppered in the stanza refers to the spots of the leopard. So it is A part only. It refers to the spots of the leopard. Why does roaring with pain will not do any good? It will not do any good because leopard जो है it will attack you again and again. तो जितना मर्जी चला लो it will do no good to you. ठीक है. अब हम हम आते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 8 पे. क्वेश्चन नंबर 8 जो है वो फर्स्ट फ्लाइट से है. देयर आर 5 क्वेश्चंस, यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी 4. हर एक क्वेश्चन 3 मार्क्स का है. 30 to 40 वर्ड्स में आपने आंसर करना है. शुभको सेज ऑफ नटालिया एज इफ शी वोंट कंसेंट, शी इज इन लव eager, she is like a love sick cat. Would you agree? Find reason for your answer. So yes, Natalia is in love. This is clear by the way she behaves when she get to know that Lemov came to propose to her. She starts weeping and asks her father to call Lemov so that she could confess and express her love for him. Why does the poet say that money is external? सबसे important question है most of the sample papers में ये. Money is external because money can only buy all worldly and materialistic things. The poet wants to say that it cannot buy emotions, attachment, love, childhood, etc. Once these things are lost, they are lost forever and they never come back. ठीक है. Next is, how is the fog like a cat? What 3 things does the poem suggest? The fog comes slowly and silently like a cat. It sits on its haunches for some time, looking around the harbor, and then moves away as it came. Similarly, the fog spreads over the harbor and city for some time. Finally, it moves away like a cat, very silently. Clear? Fourth question देखते हैं क्या है. Why did Maxwell call the air hostess the very queen of her kind? Maxwell calls the air hostess the very queen of her kind because she was very sympathetic after listening to Maxwell's story. She understood how he might be feeling and then gave him permission to take the otter out of the box to keep it on his knees. Paper has more patience than people. Do you agree? Give reason. Yes, according to me, and he was absolutely correct. And she is right to perceive so. Paper is more patient than person because diary is a silent recorder of Annie's thought, non-judgmental and patience. It cannot react to what or how she thinks. क्लियर. अब क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 की बात आती है. जो क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 है ना, क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 में बेसिकली देयर आर 3 क्वेश्चंस. ठीक है. 3 क्वेश्चंस में से यू हैव टू अटेम्प्ट एनी 2. ये कौन सी बुक से है? फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट. क्लियर. बट पहला क्वेश्चन है, बट देयर वाज वन थिंग आई कुड डू, कलेक्ट थिंग्स. What collection did Ebright make? When did he start making collection? Ebright was inclined towards collecting butterflies, rocks, fossils and coins. He began as early as when he was in kindergarten. His mother, of course, was a driving force and remained his sole reason for his success. Clear? Second की बात करते हैं. The best way to defend is to offend, but the same thing is not seen by Noodle. How does he manage to do that? Noodle avoided offending Think Tank, but at the same time he corrected his mistake. Whenever he had to say something contrary to what Think Tank said, he would present his thoughts by referring to them as being of no particular importance. Third question. Guilty mind is always conscious. Do you think the thief was on the contrary obliged to Anil? Substantiate your answer. So no, I don't think Hari Singh was ever grateful to Anil. Rather, he lost no chance to dupe him and ditch him of his trust and money and run away from there. Clear? Then next is क्वेश्चन नंबर 10. लॉन्ग क्वेश्चन है, 6 मार्क्स का है. 100 to 120 वर्ड्स में से वर्ड्स में आंसर करना है. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 की बात करूँ तो फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट का नहीं है, ये फर्स्ट फ्लाइट का है. 2 क्वेश्चन है और दोनों फर्स्ट फ्लाइट से जो आते होंगे वो अटेम्प्ट करने हैं. क्लियर. Imagine a software engineer meets Buddha and communicates the modern age anxiety and the threat of livelihood. Suggest some philosophical tool which Buddha must have preached him to handle the same. Humans today are not chased by predators. We are chased by uncertainty about the health of our loved ones. Whether we will have a job next week or next year, whether our company will go bankrupt, worries that provoke the same neurological and physical responses. Stress is a response to a threat in a situation. Anxiety is a reaction to the stress. Buddha must have preached renunciation. Our basic decency and sense of humor lies in what we do and how we do. According to Buddha, the basic view is that people are fundamentally good and healthy. It is as if everyone who has ever been born has the same birthright, which is enormous potential of warm heart and clear mind. The ground of renunciation is realizing that we already have exactly what we need, that what we have already is good. Every moment of time has enormous energy in it and we could connect with that. ठीक है. और इसके और ऑप्शन में क्या क्वेश्चन है ये देखते हैं. Not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. How were the service of the baker required on various occasions? So bakers were considered as indispensable and extremely important on any celebration there in Goa. They had a unique place among the people. They were known as peders in Goa. They had peculiar dress earlier known as kabai. Breads and cakes were an integral part of everyday life in Goa and were also consumed on special occasions. Thus, the baker was a man whose arrival was always eagerly anticipated by the adults and children. Bakers were very informal with the children. They were considered as friends and companions and treated as a family member. और यही मैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 11th पे आती हूँ. अगेन 6 मार्कर्स है, 100 to 120 वर्ड में आंसर करना है. 2 क्वेश्चन है, 2 में से 1 करना है. फुटप्रिंट्स विदाउट फीट से दोनों, ठीक है. पहला क्वेश्चन, our sins never go unpunished. Horace Danby ultimately had to go to prison. This shows that in spite of planning a crime intelligently and carefully, a criminal can't escape the law. Explain. The passion of Horace Danby was collecting rare and expensive books. To satisfy this passion, he needed money and arranged it by robbing one safe every year. Clear every year, and then secretly bought the books through an agent. Though he was an honorable person but not an honest one indeed, he loved collecting and expensive books. He robbed a safe every year to finance the purchase of these books through an agent. Thus, he was not completely honest. By stealing other people's valuables, he may have become successful, but he is actually a criminal. It cannot be satisfied that a person steals things and readers reflect their soft corner for his wrongdoings. He may be efficient in conducting his crime so that he is successful, but we still cannot appreciate his work. Ultimately, we need to think of the person who has been robbed, who would show their empathy to him. Clear? And इसके B part में option आता है, Boli and Matilda both are distinct characters, wherein one give importance to self-instinct and other give importance to her beauty. Assume they both meet each others at Boli's wedding and had a conversation over the greed of Bishambo. Write this conversation as per your understanding of Boli and the necklace. You may begin like this. Matilda, are you fine now? Boli, yeah, very much relieved. What about you, Matilda? I heard about your woes and miseries that you had to undergo. My heart wrenched with pain. Matilda, no, you should not. Actually, I am to confess that in this singular life, one should be contented with whatever he or she has. One should not cut his coat beyond his cloth. But in my case, I always kept grudging against my destiny and had never been thankful to the Almighty that at least I was better than many. Bully. Yes, it can be reflected that way too. You really had to bear what you actually did not deserve. I am feeling so blessed that I am now able to raise my opinion and find my own identity. I wanted you to be feeling proud of yourself since are my friends. क्लियर. सो येस, यहाँ पे हमारा सैम्पल पेपर नंबर 22 ख़त्म होता है. एंड अगर आपको इसका PDF चाहिए, यू कैन कनेक्ट अस ऑन द नंबर विच इज़ गिवन बिलो. मोर ओवर, येस, वी विल बी मीटिंग यू अगेन in the next video. And yes, for the doubts, you can comment in the comment box. So bye bye everyone.